Let it think for a second. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Get some
Salute.
of that. Get some of that good water. Salute. And guess
Hmm.
what? We are live. Peace. What up, people? Y'all know what it is. It is Friday night, 8 o'clock, also known as the Dope Hour, with your host, the two-time ATS hottest DJ, the God DJ Agony, also known as Dr. Dope. And hey, I brought my friends with me. Of course, I'm gonna have friends with me. You know what I'm saying? It's the Dope Hour. This is what we do. And I'm pretty sure if y'all been paying attention, y'all should recognize this brother right here. Because he's been here before. And he kicked good shit last time. And so it was so good. I said, you know what? We gotta do that again. You ever had that feeling to where it's like, this that one right here. This that one. Where you pulled up that drink and you got the mix just right. Be like, ooh, this that one. And a lot of times you can't never pull it up just like how you did it that time. Yeah, that don't work like this on the dope show because it's ghetto gold every week. Every week we on the dope show, you got ghetto gold. So it's always gonna be that one. Brother, tell them who you is just in case they was living under a rock for the last month.
What's going on, everybody? Dr. Q, Dr. Quincy L. Brewington coming back to y'all, also known as the High Scholar. So check me out on social media at High Scholar. I'm excited to be back, man. I really enjoyed it last time, chopping it up, talking
Definitely, man.
about
Definitely. And it's one of
hip
those
hop. You
things
know how we
where
do.
and it's one of those things, me and his brother work together. And so we have conversations just around the job, like, wait, hold on. We giving away dope right now. We're giving away good dope. And anybody who's ever dealt in dope know you don't give away good dope. That shit is to be sold. So nah, we don't give away good dope here,
Hmm.
but we will sell you some. So we bringing it here for you tonight. You know what I'm saying? We ain't giving nothing away for free.
Hmm.
And so one of the conversations we were having was the constant ongoing debate on whether hip hop is dead or there's no more good hip hop, whatever. And it's like you just one, you got to know where to look, and two, you gotta really
Hmm.
define your definition of what good hip hop is. So Dr. Brewington, because he's the doctor, compared it to almost like fixing a plate. And this was a way of looking at it
Absolutely.
I had never thought of, where it was like, wait a minute, there's something to that. There's something to that. So think about big shouts out to Regina Sunshine in the building. What up, Sunshine? Um One thing about it is, like, we could say the same thing about grocery stores and how there's no good food in the hood, but sometimes you got to travel out. You got to go outside your comfort zone to get that good food. So tonight we're gonna teach y'all how to fix a plate. We gonna fix a good plate with
That's
some of
it.
this good hip hop on it. And it's
Yep.
like just like fixing any other plate. My plate's gonna look slightly different from the rest. Y'all know this
Hey.
about me, but I don't like tomatoes.
I say, man, like, let's go into the conversation just a little bit because, like, what I was basically presenting just to give a overview of the ideas that oftentimes in our conversations of hip hop and we talking about the music, people like to say, well, it only talks about the same thing. You know how it's just party music or guns and shooting them up and um, hoes and whatever it is, that it's all about the kind of perversity and things that are that you wouldn't share with your grandma. And it's like, well, there's other like there's other parts of hip hop music even that don't talk about any of those things. There's a whole religious hip hop. There's whole genres or parts of hip hop that don't um, talk about any of those things. So how could you say that the whole thing is just that? So when we were talking about it, at work, I was like, man, that's the sweets table. Like that's the table that, like, that's going to be there. Like if you go into hip hop music looking for party music, that's what you're gonna find. Like that, you can't go in there looking for. If you go in there looking for the entrees, you're gonna find the entrees. But clearly, some people are not doing that because they only finding the things that they came looking for.
Right. And it's one of those things, like you said, it's that sweet table. You can't be at the sweets table, i.e., network radio, and and be looking for nourishment. You're gonna get cake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
LF, what's the
Hmm.
business? Happy Friday, also known as Dope Day.
That's all
Yeah.
facts, man. Like that, I say, man, yeah, and that's exactly it. Because like the things that you're going to find from popular networks of any kind are going to be those things that they're just trying to sell. It's really to attach these products to, the music. So of course they're not going to have a whole lot of nutritional value because they're not ever intended to. They never were intended to
Mm-mm.
give anything, unless the artists themselves, somehow um, blended something in that smoothie a little different. You know what I'm saying? So we have to remember
Dig.
that with any culture, and hip hop music is no different. Like what you came looking for, you got. So if you came looking for something that was a little deeper, a little more gritty, but still had some movement to it and still got you moving, that's what you found in different artists who particularly dabbled in hip hop. So um, for some of us like myself, like it's hard for you to make an argument that hip hop is unintelligible and it's only about one thing or another thing, because I've kind of dabbled in different parts of the quote unquote food pyramid of hip hop.
Mm. So just to kick it off there, if we starting off at that bottom part of the pyramid, this the no wait a minute. Wait a minute. If I'm thinking about the food pyramid correctly, the top is the stuff that we supposed to have the least of, correct? Actually, you know what?
Sparingly, as they said.
Yeah, food pyramid is actually flipped. The top is better than the bottom, but the top is wider. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's for them nutritious people. Look, yeah, I listen to good music. I ain't about to say I ever ate right though. Mm. So if we had to build it from bottom up, from the stuff that we should intake the least of going up. Let's start on that bottom level. Well, who was you putting on that bottom level?
I mean, I don't necessarily want to name artists, but I could definitely say like the stuff that we should be getting more sparingly, and kind of those kind of bottom two tiers is the popular. Like um, because hip hop is aging, we're actually seeing a generation do that, which is like, no, I'll know a popular song or two, just so I'm in the loop with what's going on in hip hop right now. But am I intaking, hours and hours of the newest, most popular artists that, teenagers from 13 to 18 are listening to? Absolutely not. Because I understand the diet now. I understand that would cause the imbalance. So at this point, like again, I'm not gonna name any artists, but there booty shaking, guerrilla warfare, drug selling. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that has is soul in its root. It is not ever trying to um, hone in on the craft or the art of hip hop, no less the power in its voice.
I had to ask one of the homies about this the other day, because with all the guns, violence, and drugs in hip hop, I was like, I had to stop and think. These dudes don't want no women. I don't never hear about them talk about women, but then he was like, "Yeah, they talk about women, but the way they talk about women is, I fucked your bitch." It's like,
Right,
really?
right,
that's that's all we got was out of all the women out here,
right,
you making it a big thing because because the thing I think about it like this: if you knocked off one of mine, she did me a favor. She showed me who she was, and you can have her, sir. But it's
right.
like I'm
I
I
mean,
might I
but
might
that
I
these are
might
the
smash I might smash your girl and pay her bills. It's like, wait, you're gonna pick up that bill for me? Oh shit, you did me a favor. Thanks, man.
uh, I mean, but these are the popular narratives in hip hop have always been changing, and basically what we're both speaking to is these are the these are the narratives you need to get more sparingly. Like this not hearing and creating around or characterizing your life around. You don't need to be crafting your life around those messages in hip hop that have been pushed by commercialization of hip hop, what they think hip hop hip hop should be.
let's go into the commercialization part. When do you see that happening? I got an idea when I would say it went, but when do you think the commercialization of hip hop really happened?
I I believe that hip hop music was the first music where at its beginning, commercialization is already starting to happen. So because
Mm.
Black American popular music had already um, become a complete machine, by the time hip hop comes along, and we now have mechanisms turn a wheel. I think hip hop, what it suffers through as much as its power, is being a culture that created itself as soon as it was hitting the presses. As fast as it was crafting itself into who it was already on magazine covers, is already in newspaper, already getting wind of being problematic in white homes or white communities because it was going to push the envelope. It was going to be provocative in your face. So hip hop became the brainchild of this new generation. Like this hip hop brought the in your face um, generation that we see today. Like this would not be here today without the hip hop generations that came prior.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think it was as commercialized, particularly in the '80s, just yet because it was always thought of as the trend. It's not gonna last. And yeah, you had some that did say, you know what, let's jump on it and ride it while it's riding. But as a whole, as we talking about a mass commercialization, I don't think that really came. If I had to put a timestamp on it, I would say really when NWA came. And I'll say this, NWA was very brash, in your face. They were different because they were West Coast guys, and controversy breeds cash. And so, as bad as it was on one end, oh no, it's destroying white homes and our children are listening to this. On the other end, some smart capitalist was like, these little white kids are listening to that. This is so hard and it's so rebellious. They're listening to it. We could make money off this. We could piss off all the Karens and sell this to their kids. Black kids already know about it. You know what I'm saying? Black kids was living NWA. You know what I'm saying? But nah, they starting to pick up on it. We could sell it to them. You know how many white kids was listening to the Chronic? 92? White people love the Chronic. I think it froze up. Oh, there you go. But yeah, looking at that late '80s, early '90s period, I really think when West Coast music jumped off, it was like we got to get behind this and we have to push it to its rawest form. Think about with particularly with NWA, they said that Straight Outta Compton was like a CNN of the hood. You know what I'm saying? We're taking the camera in the hood and we're giving you play
Right.
by play. But if you listen to the albums after that, it was really more about bitches and guns, drugs, more bitches, more guns, more drugs, and it lost the message. Now, could say that's because Ice Cube was the writer and he left, but
Mhm.
nonetheless, it happened. You know what I'm saying?
You haven't said anything that I don't necessarily disagree with, but um,
Oh, we got bad connection.
mhm.
Check your mic, brother.
Right.
There you go.
Well, I still think hip hop was commercialized at its infancy because We have those writings. We have so much documentation of where it came from and how it was thought of at its beginning. So because it had all this press and all this eyes on it from the beginning, it had to fight to prove its popularity, even though people knew it was going to be popular. Like I feel like the early writers knew this the next Black American popular music.
Mm. So you said they knew even when we didn't, huh?
Am I borging or am I lagging?
Yeah, but yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So my question is, so
All right.
you're saying that they
Make sure I
knew
got everything
before
connected.
we actually knew how
But basically,
big
what
it
I
was
was
gonna
saying is
blow up.
that you had eyes and money around hip hop from the nearly beginning, and that's what when you have all these kind of writings of hip hop is not going to last, hip hop is only going to be a fad and here to come and go. That's what you have when you have something that people already see as um, powerful, even if for only for a moment. If it's only going to be a short ride, it's still a short ride that people paid attention to. I think people kind of knew this is the next Black American thing. I think they were trying to do what they do to every Black American thing at its infancy.
Get cash in.
I think no, I think we knew. I think we knew because we were doing it. But what I think they knew is I don't think we ever could imagine like we as the purveyors of the culture knew that they loved the music. We didn't know they would become so entrenched and engrossed in the culture to like completely change their clothing, completely change the way they talk, and almost want to be us. Like try to walk in our shoes.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing though. You know, with hip hop being born out the struggle, I don't think they wanted to walk totally in our shoes, just enough to feel cool about it. You know what I'm saying? Seem like, hey, we're down because I have a chain on and some gold teeth. But yeah, no, I mean, fuck the police was about police brutality. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody that ever had not had to deal with that wants to voluntarily deal with that.
Everything's solid, you're in.
We good? Can you hear me?
Mhm. But their version of what their community were going through, yeah, yeah, what their community was going through when they heard "fuck the police" was just a stricter community that they had not experienced before as a product of police getting new resources. They didn't experience the brutality that we were experienced, but the whole going up to kiss and heal and stuff like that, and kissing your high school prom crush was that stuff got cut back in their community. So I'm not saying that that's equal to what we experience, but to understand where the rebel feeling comes from, you know what I'm saying, etc. That's the problem that they heard coming through hip hop music. They had a community um, issue as well that they thought hip hop was trying to be a voice for.
Mm, yeah, I did that. I don't know. It's one of those things though. It's like Lord Jamar made the statement sometime back to where you know, if hip hop was a house, white people not only couldn't sit at the table, they couldn't come to the porch. Um, I feel like that's still in some senses, but then in some senses, it's like they struggle a little bit too. Some of them, and some of them really got something to say. I mean, it doesn't get no more of the struggle than like a Eminem per se. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's try some people because we're getting nowhere fast with this. Let's try this.